Welcome back, YouTube. Sensei Domino here. Welcome to the Spine Ticks After Party. Got some great stuff to share with you tonight. I've been buying quite a few vintage lots lately, and I'll be showing a few of those tonight. I'll also be showing part of a long-awaited COMC order. I'll be showing a new starter set, 1979 Topps Baseball. And if we have time at the end, I'll also open up a few more packs of the 1990 Kingpins bowling cards. But let's go ahead and get started. So I'll start with this small 4-card 1961 Topps Baseball lot. We'll start with this Bill Rigney. And the card's in really nice shape, but it looks like somebody dropped a little dot of, I don't know, soda or something right here on the corner of the card. But otherwise, it looks pretty good. I did not notice this in the listing. But yeah, otherwise, pretty nice card. The other 3 cards in this lot are definitely off center, but they're pretty sharp. So we have Milt Pappas. I have a few Milt Pappas cards, including his rookie card from, I believe it's 58. This was kind of cool. And then we also have a pair of catchers that I'm a pretty big fan of. Not Hall of Famers, but multiple-time All-Stars. We have Del Crandall. Again, this is significantly off-center. This was kind of an opportunistic buy. I didn't pay a whole lot for this. I mean, less than $1 a card. So was happy to pick these up. The last one, I actually have this card already, and definitely a more centered shape. We have Sherm Lawler. Huge fan of Sherm Lawler. In my opinion, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Fantastic catcher, pretty good offensive catcher, and definitely a great defensive catcher. And like I said, I already had this 61, but the fact that it was in the lot made it a little easier for me to decide to pick this up. So nice little 4-card lot of 1961 Topps. I don't really have any intentions of building the 61 Topps set based on the high number cards being significantly expensive and a lot of big dollar cards in the set. But you know, just decided it was a nice lot for the price, so decided to pick that one up. All right, next, I have I don't know how many cards this is. This might be 45 cards or something. A nice 45 card lot of 1970 Topps. Originally, I did not intend to build the 1970 Topps set because of the high numbers. But as I've started thinking about it a little bit, it's not a bad idea if I'm going to be building the other sets from the 70s to, at the very least, build up the set up to the high numbers. And so I guess that's now a goal of mine is, 70, 71, 72, and 73, which I wasn't originally intending to build. Just trying to see how close I can get to completing those sets up to the high numbers. So bought this nice little lot. Unfortunately, I don't remember whose stream I was in when I talked about it, but when it might have been Aaron Sports Cards and Things stream, I'm not sure. But when these were shipped, they were shipped in a bubble mailer, but then inside the bubble mailer, these were unprotected in a regular envelope and sealed. And so not the best way to ship these. None of these would be what I would consider pristine shape, but it just kind of makes me wonder if any of them were damaged in the trip to my place. So, not much I can do about that. And I am a TTMer, and I do ship cards out, to get autographed unprotected. So it's not the biggest deal in the world, but you would think that somebody would have a little bit more respect for the cards, especially vintage, than this seller did. So a little disappointed about that, but enough rambling. Let me go ahead and start showing some of these cards. There aren't any significant names in here, maybe some semi-stars or something, and there is a little duplication, but we'll go ahead and start with Darryl Chaney. And again, these are 1970 Topps. Not one of my favorite sets of the decade. It's kind of plain. Here's another Daryl Cheney. This one's a little more off center, but it is a little sharper. We have Wes Parker. Thought that was a hair, but I don't know what that is. There's something on the card. Looks like it might be in the photo. But Wes Parker. And yeah, you can see some of these are a little more worn than others. Great image on this card. And the back of this one is much brighter than this one. Next we have Grant Jackson. And as I'm buying these sets, I'll go through these lots a little better than I have, and sort of pull out the ones that are sort of keepers, and the ones that I'm not really a big fan of the condition. I'll probably just post them back up on eBay, try to recoup some of my money, and maybe use that towards additional cards for these sets. So we've got Jose Martinez. With the 70s, especially the early 70s, I'm kind of okay with mid-grade. I guess I would like it to be mid-high, but depending on the cost of the cards and stuff, I'm perfectly fine with mid-grade. I don't want any creases. Centering's not really much of an issue with me. Corner wear, not really much of an issue. I don't really want stains if I can help it. Nate Colbert here. Although, as I've said before, a couple of the cards having wax stains, I'm okay with that, because I do like the sort of the nostalgia of the wax stain, because they existed on the cards in the packs that I would open up as a kid, and so I kind of like the nostalgia. We have Hank Allen right here. So I don't mind that, but I don't want them on a whole bunch of the cards from the sets. But a handful of them, 10 or 20 of them, I don't really mind. Definitely would prefer that they're not on, some of the star cards and stuff. We have Larry Durker, former manager. We have John Bocabella. Bill Robinson. Harry Walker. Don West. Again, you can see some of these are much brighter on the backs than others. These are consecutive cards in the set, so I would assume that these are supposed to be as bright white as these. We have Dick Drago. So I'll definitely be taking that into consideration when I'm deciding which ones of these I'm going to keep. I absolutely love these cup cards with the large trophy, as opposed to the newer ones that are kind of small. These are fantastic. Mike Nagy. This looks like a rookie card. Next we have Jack Aker. You see this quite a bit in the 69 and 70 set. You know, they kind of airbrush out the logo, kind of have a generic look to the jersey. Not a big fan of that. I don't think they look. It looks really good on cards, but what can you do? Next we have Dave Johnson, former manager, former MPB player. We have Bruce Dalcanton. Great image right there. Have a pair of this John Kennedy. Of course, we have the Seattle Pilots. It's always cool to get a Seattle Pilots card. Here's the other. Next we have Pat Kelly. Dick Ellsworth. Pretty good player. There he was a 22-game winner. Again, you have the airbrush job. Next we have, I guess that's Frank Lindsay. It's kind of hard to tell with the font that they use, but I think it's Frank Lindsay. Yeah. Next we have Clay Kirby. I love these little comics they have on the back. These cards. Clay led the Padres in strikeouts in 1969. Next we have Dave May. Great image with it holding the batting helmet. Next we have Lum Harris. Steve Renko. As far as I know, he's a pretty good TTM signer. Never sent to him myself, but I'd have to do that. And this does look like a Steve Renko rookie card, which is kind of cool. Not sure if it is or not, but looks like it might be. Oh, I love this image. Juan Rios. Got the bat rack right there. Just a great image. Juan has amazing speed. Rick Rennick. Next we have Freddie Patek. Next we have a Cardinals rookies with Jerry Royce. Pretty off center, but not too bad. Pretty sharp. Little ding on that corner. Looks a little faded. Next we have Joe Moeller. Joe's hobby is playing volleyball. Another cool image right here with the bat rack. Jerry Moses. I've always enjoyed bat rack images and batting cage images for some reason. Next we have Daryl Knowles. It's a great image right there. Looks like they might be at Fenway. Couple more Seattle Pilots cards. Mike Keegan. Mike sells sporting goods in the off season. See, even in the early 70s, or I guess this might be technically late 60s since this is the 1970 set. These players had off-season jobs. They didn't make the ridiculous amounts of money they do today, although they'd still got paid pretty well. But definitely had to get an off-season job most of the time, especially if you were kind of an average player. Next you have Jim Ray. Jim's hobby is reading. Next we have Gene Michael, another former manager. This one's pretty significantly off center. Next we have Don Young. Great image. Batting cage. Looks like he's on the outside of the batting cage. Don Young. George Mitterwald. George's hobbies are golf and basketball. Next we have Don Gutteridge. That's a really bright white background compared to some of the others. Next we have Jimmy Price. Jim McLaughlin. Jim tied for the AL lead with 6 shutouts in 1967. Next we have Dave Roberts. Next we have Dick Hall. Another really bright white back. And the last one, and this one has a significant crease in it. Straight down. Bobby Mercer. Probably the biggest name in the lot. And yeah, this card's destroyed. Early Bobby Mercer, too. Bobby's idol was always Mickey Mantle. So that's the 1970 lot. Next, I think this was 37 cards, maybe. This is 1971. And the damage shows up a lot easier with these black borders. But most of these are okay. You got Ed Spezio. I mean, with this set in particular, I'm going to be a little more strict, I guess, in the damage along the sides and the edges and stuff. I don't want them to just look horrible. But something like this doesn't look too bad. Elliot Maddox. And although the backs of these 71s are nice, the O-Peaches with the yellow background, they just look absolutely amazing. I definitely prefer the O-Peaches for the 71. Just gorgeous looking design. Norm Miller. This one doesn't look bad. It does have a little ding in that corner. Skip Pitlock. Looks kind of bored. Next we have Dan McGinn. Ron Klimkowski. Little off center. A lot off center. Eddie Casco. Oh, what's going on the back of this one? Looks like somebody drew on the back of this one. Next we have Del Unser. Rich McKinney. Steve Keeley. Not bad at all. Dave Baldwin. Looks like we have a pair of Dave Baldwins. This one's got a pretty significant ding on the edge, like something like that I don't really want. The corners on this one, this one's probably a little bad, but overall, if this wasn't there, I'd probably be okay with this card. Here's the other. Definitely more off-center than the previous one. Corners are a little rough. This one would probably be borderline. Steve Klein. Something like this. That's a little rough for me. That's a little too bad. But something like this I'd be okay with. Dwayne Josephson. Looks like we have two of these. Yeah, that corner's really bad. The others aren't bad at all. Definitely more off center. Christmas is probably the best card from this lot, although the condition's pretty rough. Got the corner right there, fisheye. But I love this card because he signed this William Francis Lee. And if you send this to Bill Lee, he'll actually sign it William Francis Lee. It's the only card he'll sign William Francis Lee on. So, you know, Bill Lee is a great signer anyway, but, you know, to get kind of a variation of his autograph, get this card and send it off to him. This is a second-year Bill Lee. Sorry about the focus. There we go. Next we have George Burnett. Jim Spencer. This one's not bad at all. Pretty nicely centered. Corners aren't bad. This one's a little more damage than the others. Overall, not bad. This one might be a keeper. Wade Blassingame. It's not bad either. Okay, I'm going to butcher this name. Billy Grabarkowitz. Oh, that's probably not too bad, I guess. Got a chip on the edge right there. That corner's rough. Hal King. This corner's rough, but the others aren't bad at all. A little bit of a stain or something right there. Joe Decker. Another cup card. Roy Foster. Bend in the corner. Looks like this guy had a little bit of pop. 23 home runs as a rookie. John Cumberland with the generic hat. And this is just a plain card. It's actually in pretty good shape. Yeah, not much to this image. Very generic. Next we have Steve Hovley. Another cup card, Billy Conigliaro. I believe this is the brother of Tony. Next we have Ken Sanders. Next, this is a great image right here. Cookie Rojas, former manager. Fantastic image right there. Next we have Frank Johnson. That's almost miscut. There's barely any black on that edge right there. Just a little bit. Not much. This is a look at the back. This is quality control from the 70s at its best. Aurelio Monteagudo. Hopefully that's close. Dennis Menke. Looks like we have two of these. You don't see this much anymore with these giant choke up jobs some of the players hit with back in the 70s and 60s and earlier. Just don't see that anymore. This is a cool image right here. Kurt Bleffery. I like the sideways cards in this set. This one, corners are really rough though. Next we have Rick Monday, pretty nice player. Batting cage shot. Next we have George Mitterwald. I think we saw his 1970 card earlier. Corners are a little rough. Next we have Chuck Dobson. And the last one we have is Darrell Knowles. I think we saw his 70 card as well. Alright, so that's the 1971 top slot. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing those. I know there's not a whole lot of star power, but definitely enjoy looking at vintage regardless, because I haven't seen a whole lot of the cards outside of the stars and the Hall of Famers and stuff. So it's always cool to get some of those cards into the collection, and in some cases see them for the very first time. So, all right, the next lot I'll be showing is a really nice condition lot of 1975 tops. These are all St. Louis Cardinals. This was a St. Louis Cardinals 6-card lot. So I don't know how close this is to the team set, but in fact, I know the Lou Brock's not here, and I think Bob Gibson might add a card in the set. So at the very least, they're not in here. So I'd have to pick those up at some point. But these are all in really nice shape, and these aren't the minis; these are the regular size. But we have Ken Wrights. This 1975 set, along with the 72 set, are probably my two favorite sets from the 70s. And these are so condition sensitive. I mean, just any little nick on the edges show up. And the centering is always an issue. But these are all really nice. Next we have Alan Foster. So these are all definitely keepers. And again, I got these for like basically less than $1 a piece. So to get these in this condition, I was happy with it. Sonny Siebert. I don't have much of a start to the 75 set, though. Maybe 20 cards or so. This is a long way to go. Elias Sosa. This one's a little off center, but I don't mind it. It's nice and sharp. Kind of looks packed fresh. We have Ted Sizemore. And the last one, Rich Folkers. So that's the 6-card 1975 Cardinals lot. next we're going to move on to a basketball lot that I picked up. There were some nice cards in here. I'm not sure how many cards this actually is, but I'll go ahead and start with the non-top loaded cards, I guess. There are some pretty nice players in here. Go ahead and start with the Phil Smith. This is a 77, 77, 78, yeah. Phil Smith. And these are all, aside from centering, in pretty nice shape. They do have two different backs. They have the green and then what they call the gray. And I definitely prefer this back to the other one. Let me see if this is a gray. No. See if I can find one of the gray backs. Yeah, okay. So it is still green, but I guess they call it the gray back. So that's the difference. But yeah, definitely prefer this style. So there's Phil Smith. We have Dan Roundfield. Next we have Kevin Porter. These are all really nice. Nice sharp corners. Don Chaney. Nice player, former coach. There we go with the Bullets. Wonder how many of these cards have the Washington Bullets on them. I was talking about that with some of the other late 70s sets. The Bullets seem to be, there's another bullet right there. It seems like they took a lot of the photos against the Washington Bullets teams. Got a nice checklist. Always love getting checklists, especially unmarked. Next we have Austin Carr. Like I said, got the Bullets right there. Yeah, again, you can see the Bullets right there. So I don't know what the deal is with this, with all the bullets and the images, but I guess Topps was trying to save money. Oh, here we go. That looks like San Antonio. Got Don Ford. Next we have Phil Chenier. I think that's how you say it. Nice player. Next, another nice player, Cazzie Russell. Is that 32? That's 32 before Magic. Let's see if it has his number back here. That looks like a 32, though. Yeah, I don't see that. Doesn't look like it lists it, but I think that's 32. Been the last player to wear that number before Magic. Next we have Maurice Lucas, fantastic player. I do have the Maurice Lucas rookie. Next we have Randy Smith. Randy Smith set the record for most consecutive games played before AC Green broke it. I think it might be most consecutive games played because, just professional games played because he played in the ABA, I believe. Oh, never mind. That was Ron Boone. I think it's professional games played. His are games played in the NBA. So, yeah, he was, I guess, the one that AC Green actually passed to get the record. But I think Ron Boone, because he played in the ABA and the NBA, it was professional games played. Yeah, still a nice player. Next we have Swen Nader. This is kind of cool because he's a TTMer and I don't have too many Swen Nader cards. I think I might have enough to send off to him now with this one. Another great signer, Alvin Adams. Next we have John Mengelt. Again, it looks like the Bullets. Next we have Howard Porter. Billy Knight. Next we have Chris Ford, also a former coach. And then we have Ernie DiGregorio. I'd say this lot was probably 25% of the set. So it's a nice little start. Here's some of the stars and Hall of Famers. We have Paul Westphal. Rudy T. Tom Janovich. Jamal Wilkes. It's a great image right here, Bob McAdoo. ML Carr. I believe this is ML Carr's rookie card. And there are actually two of those. The seller actually included 3 cards additionally, and the extra ML Carr was one of them, which is always really nice of the sellers when they include extras. The original listing said no duplicates, and there were no duplicates, but he did throw in 3 duplicates as extras, and they were all pretty nice cards, including this ML Carr. Next we have George McGinnis. Doug Collins, and this was another duplicate he sent. And congratulations to Doug Collins for making it into the NBA Hall of Fame a couple weeks ago. Congratulations. I actually made a slip a couple weeks back when I was showing a Doug Collins autograph, I believe. And I said he was a Hall of Famer at the time, but he wasn't, and now he is, so that's kind of cool. But he is a great TTM signer. So cool that I got an extra one of these. Maybe I have to send off to him again and congratulate him. And this was the other one, Tom McMillan. That's the other duplicate he sent. And this might be a rookie as well. Next, huge fan of this guy, John Havlicek. Of course, he's playing the Washington Bullets. Amazing player. Great card. Now, this one sadly does have a little bit of damage to it. This is one of the better cards from the lot. This is George Gervin, the Iceman. Yeah, you can see the corner wear, and I even think there's a minor crease in here somewhere. So I was a little disappointed in this one, but that's all right. I still feel like I got value. But yeah, if I'm going to build this set, I'd have to replace this one. All right, just two more from this lot. We have Spencer Haywood. And the last one, and I actually have this card already. So this is an extra, but it's Nate Tiny Archibald. This one has a pretty nasty corner right there. All right, so that's the 77-78 Topps basketball lot. All right, I do have two other cards that I picked up, and this wasn't really a lot. These were actually singles from the same seller, and I ended up winning both. Really happy to get these, but one of them is a 77-78 card. I actually had this card already, but this one is in pretty nice shape, so I decided to pick it up anyway. Since the guy combined shipping, it was the same shipping cost for 1 to 3 cards, so I was like, you know what, why not? But I'm really happy to get this first one that I'm going to show. This is a 1974-75 Earl the Pearl Monroe. Absolutely love this set. And a huge fan of the Pearl. Just an amazing player. And it's just a little off center. It's more off center on the back. You can see. It's just a little off center on the front, but gorgeous looking card. Minimal corner wear. And then here's the 77-78 Earl Monroe. I do have this card, but why not? Why not get an extra? And this one's the gray back. I think the one that I have is the green. It's a little bit of a variation. All right, so that's all of the lot that I'll be showing this week. I do have several others that I have to work through. If you were tuned into the Overtime Hockey Show last night, I was a special guest on the show with DM and Perch, and I actually, on the stream, I opened up a lot of 70s and 80s hockey cards on that show, but I'll be showing that on my channel when I get it kind of sorted and sleeved up and stuff like that, probably a couple weeks from now. And then I have several other baseball lots that I picked up. But yeah, you have that to look forward to here in the next upcoming weeks. But next, let's go ahead and go to the COMC order. This was not a large COMC order. This was, I think, 34 cards or something like that. And I request shipment on this, I think January 26th or something like that. And I had been picking these cards up from November, December, early January, just opportunistic on some of the purchases and stuff. So I built this up over several months, but then, COMC sort of went from, 3 weeks to a month, maybe 5 weeks to ship, the cards to you to, somehow at the beginning of the year, everything changed, and it took almost 3 months for this to get here. This is, I guess it got here 4/18, and I request the shipment January 26th. So, like 10 or 11 weeks. It's kind of absurd. If I had known it was going to take that long, I would have waited and built up a little bit of a bigger order. But anyway, happy that these have arrived. This is definitely just all over the place. No rhyme or reason for the cards that I picked up, other than they're great cards. There's modern, there's vintage, there's just sport, non-sport, just all over the place. But I kind of split it up into 2 parts. I'll show part of it this week and part next week. There are definitely some legends in here and some really nice cards. So let's go ahead and get started. This first card is a 1935 Sinclair English and Scottish football stars, Dixie Dean. And Dixie Dean is a football legend. And this card is just amazing. Fantastic shape. This card's from 1935. And just in gorgeous shape. So really happy with that one. This one is not in near as nice shape, but this was a really good price for this card, and decided to pick it up. I am a huge fan of this individual. This is a 1938 Churchmen's Association footballers. This is Stanley Matthews. And it does have some corner wear, but there are no creases. If I can get a better copy of this card in the future, I definitely will. But for the time being, this is a nice card to have. He had a really long career, and you'll be able to tell with this next card that I'm going to show. This right here is from 1938. And I have another Stanley Matthews card. The guy is still an active player, and this card is from 1959. This is a 1959 Cadet Suites footballers, Stanley Matthews. And this one's just gorgeous. Super sharp. I mean, just looks pack fresh. Really bright white back. Just a gorgeous looking card. This is definitely the oldest, I guess, as far as his career is concerned, Stanley Matthews card. I've got like a second year Stanley Matthews, but I'm not talking like that. I'm saying this is the latest into his career of a card that I have of his. So definitely happy to pick this up. All right, next we have one of the greatest footballers, soccer players of all time. Did not have a card of this individual, and really excited to pick this up. Just love the image of the card. He is truly one of the legends of the game. This is a 1984-85 Chromo eSport. This is Sus Dribbling, Sus Goals, Diego Maradona. Just look at the image on this. Balancing the ball on his head. Maybe heading the ball. I'm not quite sure, but it kind of looks like he's balancing it. Now this is from a set of Diego Maradona cards. So, it's not too special, but to have a Maradona card early in his career in my collection. Of course, he's known for the Hand of God goal and the goal of the century. And he was one of two players that was named the player of the century. But yeah, just an amazing footballer, and really happy to have one of his cards in my collection, especially in this nice shape. All right, next, moving on to the one cricket card that I picked up, but this is a cricket card of the greatest cricketer of all time. This is a 1935 Senior Service Sporting Events and Stars, and it's a little rough, but it's Don Bradman. The Don. And it's got some corner wear. There's a little bit of a crease down in that corner. But this is I wouldn't say an expensive card, but it's pricey, I guess. This card in really good shape can push $50-$60. And I paid about half of that for this, so a little less than half of that for this. But really happy to pick it up. try to pick up Bradman cards here and there when I can, because when you can get the greatest ever, and I mean he's just miles and miles away from everybody else that's ever played the game. His stats are just absurd. So yeah, try to pick up his cards where I can. Really happy to get that one. All right, so next we have I guess 3 basketball cards. These are all for the most part modern. We do have 179.80. I do have a pretty nice starter set going for this. So I just decided to pick this up to kind of put it in there. This is a Dan Issel, of course, Hall of Famer. It's in really nice shape. I did not have this card for that set, so get to slide this one off into there. Mark one of them off the list. Yeah, same thing with this one. I'm fairly close to completing this set. I did not have. I guess I had this card, but it was in rough shape, so I wanted to get a replacement. So this is the 87-88 Fleer Wayman Tisdale. Fantastic player, great jazz musician. R.I.P. This is a second-year Tisdale, and this one's in nice shape, so I'll slide this into the set that I have going. And the last one, and I've always been a fan of this insert set, and this is I guess rookie year. I don't know if this is considered a rookie, but big fan of this player. This is 96-97 Fleer Ultra. This is the all rookie Ray Allen. Always wanted the Kobe from this set. Never had it. Had a friend that had it. But happy to get the Ray Allen from the set. I think it's a great design. It's sort of embossed. I love the black background. Kind of the spotlight on the player. Just a great design. There's the back, and you can see the embossed image right there. All right, so moving on to a pair of music cards. Happy to pick these up. This first one, and I'll probably butcher this. This is a 1980 Empacadora Realca Pop Festival sticker. I don't know how easy this will be to see. This is Led Zeppelin. And the front of it looks pretty good, but there's a little bit of a stain on the back of this. Really cool to get a 1980 Led Zeppelin card. I don't know what that is, but a little bit of a stain on the back. Maybe these were opened later on or something like that, and maybe they were sticking together or something. I'm not sure, but that's the back. Otherwise, looks really nice on the front. Yeah, I'm definitely a big Led Zeppelin fan, so great to see this. Really cool card. And the last music card I'll be showing. This is a 1986 Panini, the Smash Hits Collection sticker. And that's basically what I know Panini as, is a sticker company. This is a cool one to get, though. This is Madonna, early in her career. It's in pretty nice shape. And this is actually a large card. This is the next card I'll be showing. Spoiler alert. But yeah, this is the size difference. Regular card versus the Madonna. Yeah, really cool. I don't know how many of these are actually out there that haven't been peeled, so kind of cool to get this. These were, after all, stickers in an era when stickers were huge. You go into a grocery store and they had little sticker dispensaries, and you throw in a quarter or whatever and get your bedazzled sticker or whatever. So, yeah, it was kind of cool to pick that up in really nice shape. All right, as you can see, the next card is a 1977 Topps Star Wars. This is Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker. I guess technically this isn't considered his rookie card since he's got earlier cards in the set, but this is from the first series. And it's really cool to get Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker on the card as opposed to just Luke Skywalker. And as big a Star Wars fan as I am, I don't have too many cards from these Star Wars, these 70s, early 80s Star Wars sets. So really happy to pick this up, and it's in pretty nice shape. Some of these can have some rough corners and edges, but I think this is pretty nice. And there's the back. Yeah, I think I only have like 2, maybe 3 cards from this set, including this one. So happy to pick this up. And, to be honest with you, I'd love to have the sets. I just, haven't really gotten around to buying any lots of these or anything like that. I tried to build them or anything, but I did see this card and it was in nice shape, and I like the price, to be honest with you, so I decided to pick it up. All right, so last we have, I think this is five cards. These are all the same individual, absolute legend. And I have shown a few cards of this individual in the past, but I'm a huge fan of this guy. So anytime I can get cards of his, I can't hit buy it now or buy fast enough, especially if I like the condition and the price. But this first card I'm going to show is actually a card from a set that I didn't have a card of this individual from, and really happy to pick this up. This actually turned out to be really nice. The pictures, the images didn't do this justice. But I think it came over here looking really nice. This is a 1974 Amata Towa. This is from the Enter the Dragon Fist of Fury Menko set. And of course it's Bruce Lee. And this is a Menko. And this is this really thick Menko. I don't know if you can tell. This is like probably a 55 point top loader. But it's a super, super thick card, as opposed to the next ones that I'm going to show that are like almost paper thin. This one is like thick stock. And just a great image right here. So really happy to pick this up. This might be my favorite Bruce Lee card. Especially getting Menkos in condition like that, because Menkos were meant to be played with, and a lot of them have been played with, and it's kind of hard to find Menkos in really nice shape. But I'm really happy with the condition of that one. All right, so next, these last 4 cards, these are all from the 1974 Yamakatsu Towa set. This is the Dragon Series set, and they are all Bruce Lee. And I have shown a few cards from this set already. I think I showed them back in December in the last COMC order that came in. But I did purchase 4 more. And these are all great images. This one's got a little corner wear, but no creases. And I love the backs. I'm not sure what that translates to. Haven't tried to translate this. Great image. This one's in a little bit better shape. Corners look pretty good. Next we have this one. This one's got touches of corner wear. All right, so that's the first part of my most recent COMC order. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing those. Really excited to get those cards into the collection. Been a pretty long wait. All right, so it looks like we're at about an hour and 5 minutes. So go ahead and start with the 1979 Topps baseball starter set. I did purchase this within the last 2 weeks. This is the one that I'd kind of been waiting for, that I postponed showing the 85 Topps starter set to get started on. This is just, it was a huge lot. I mean, they said it was like 700 plus. It actually ended up being 800. And I did have a handful, maybe like 30 1979s, and then there were like 2 or 3 of them that weren't in this lot that I was able to kind of slide in, but the rest of them were mostly duplicates. So I'm going to take the duplicates from this lot and throw it up on eBay and try to recoup some of my money. But this is basically how many of them I have for this set. So it's a large, sorry for bumping the camera, but it's a large chunk of the 1979 set, and I was far away from having anything resembling a starter set for this. I probably need maybe 100, 150 cards, but this is an enormous set. I think it's like 792 cards or something like that. It's huge. So to have 500 plus cards, maybe even 600 cards, knocked out in one purchase, was just a fantastic find, fantastic purchase. These are the duplicates, and some of these I did already have, but I'll show you some of the duplicates that were not kind of nice cards that I decided to sleeve up. We've got a Bill Madlock, put this guy in the Hall of Fame. Ken Boyer is a borderline Hall of Famer himself, so sleeve that up. We have Jim Cott, Hall of Famer. Of course, we have Dennis Eckersley, Hall of Famer, great TTMer. We got Doc Ellis with the Rangers, and then we have Earl Weaver, Hall of Famer. And then I think 2 or 3 of them that I decided to sleeve up. We have the Bird Fidrich. Of course, huge fan of the Bird. And then these were great. Bruce Bochy rookie card. Go Rangers. That's cool. So I have a duplicate of Bruce Bochy. And this last card, this is fantastic. I've wanted this card. This guy actually TTMs Randy Bass. And some of you don't know who Randy Bass is, but Randy Bass is one of the greatest MPB players of all time. He won, I'm trying to remember this off the top of my head, he won consecutive Triple Crowns, I think 85 and 86. At one point in time, he approached what was at the time Sadaharu O's single season home run record. I believe he finished with 54, and the record was 55. But he ended up playing teams that were managed by Sadaharu O towards the end of that streak, and every time he was up to bat, they intentionally walked him because they did not want a foreign-born player to break Sadaharu O's home run record. But an amazing, amazing player. I think he became a politician in Oklahoma after his playing days. And so really cool to not only get a Randy Bass rookie card, but to get duplicates of it. So was really excited to get these in this lot, both the Bochy and the Randy Bass. So just go ahead and show those to you. And then I'll go ahead and put away the duplicates. Those the ones that are like penny sleeved and top loaded, I'll probably keep those around, but the other duplicates and stuff, they're probably going to go up on eBay. And probably multiple lots. I think I can get more money doing it that way. But let's go ahead and get started. We're now at about an hour and 9 minutes. So I'm not going to do too much of this. I don't want this video to be too terribly long. Just to get started on this starter lot. I'll probably show like 100 cards or something, because I still want to show the bowling packs at the end, and I don't want this video to be too long. So let's see. Sorry, I didn't have these prepared. I wanted to kind of show the progress on the set. right, so there we go. So we got the first 100 cards. And as I usually do, first, before I do that, let me go ahead and kind of flash the cards that I'm missing. I do have them all written down, by player, but I also wrote down all of them by number. And let me just go ahead and show this so you can kind of see where I'm at with the set. So these right here I have but need replacing. So the ones with the check marks, I actually have them, but they don't meet my condition standards, I guess. But this is it right here. So basically, I had a handful of cards already, and then this lot, and it got me that close to the set. So I guess there were 170 total that I need. I'm missing 121, and then 49 of them need replacing. So definitely got a nice chunk of this 1979 top set. So really happy with this find, and comfortable with the price that I paid for sure. All right, so like I was saying, as I usually do, I'm going to show the backs of the first few cards. Well, I guess the first couple cards are like leaders cards, but once I get past those, the regular base cards, I'll show the backs of a few of them, and then I'll just kind of show the fronts, since they're basically all the same. Do not have card number 1 from the set, so we'll start with card number 2. Of course, we have Hall of Famer Jim Rice and really nice player George Foster. And these are, there are some cards in here that are a little rough, but a lot of these are in fairly nice shape, so I was really happy with the condition overall of this. Next, we have another one, RBIs. Jim Rice and George Foster. So they both led the AL and NL in home runs and RBIs. Next, we have the stolen base leaders, Ron LaFleur, Omar Moreno. Next, this one's going to have to be replaced, sadly. It's got wrinkles, 3 different wrinkles. We have Ron Guidry, fantastic signer, and Gaylord Perry, Hall of Famer, victory leaders. Yeah, that has to be replaced. We have Ron Guidry right here with the earned run average leaders, and then Craig Swan. I do have this card already. I plan to send this to both individuals to get signed. I think it'll be an amazing card. But they did have this card in the lot, so yeah, Hall of Famers Goose Gossage and Raleigh Fingers, leading fireman. There's a little bit of a impression or something in the card. I would imagine that happened when they were making this card up in the factory. There's another little impression right there. But yeah, otherwise it's in pretty nice shape. But yeah, I have a better one that I plan to send to him and get signed by both of them. Gossage signs one for free, so I'll probably send to him first, and then Raleigh Fingers. I think he's 20 per or something. Get him to sign the other side. Yeah, I think this would be a great card to have dual signed. All right, so that's the leaders cards that I have. So these are what the base look like. This is Dave Campbell. Got little baseball dates, little trivia. Do like that. This one's got just an enormous crease straight through it. And it's even got some wrinkles. This is Lee May, so this will be replaced. This one's off center, but otherwise all right. Mark Hill. Drago, Paul Dade, Rafael Landistoi, Ross Grimsley, Fred Stanley, Tony Solita, Larry Gura, Kevin Coble, Mike Jorgensen, Terry Forster, Jamie Quirk, Dave Goltz, Steve Bry, Rick Langford, next we have Tom House. This one's got wax stain on it. Fantastic signer, fantastic pitching coach, fantastic quarterback whisperer. Just an all-around really good teacher. Tom House. Jerry Mumphrey. Dave Razima. Rob Andrews. Ed Figueroa. Alan Ashby. Joe Kerrigan. Bernie Carbo. I actually skipped over this card, but since I'm showing the first 100 from the starter set, I'll go ahead and show this. This was a card that was already in my collection. This is card number 20 from the set, but this is Joe Morgan. So I'll go ahead and show this. I think that might be the only card from the first 100 that, yeah, it is, that I have sleeved up that I had previously had in my collection. Moving on to another Hall of Famer. We showed the extra earlier. This is the Dennis Eckersley. Next, Gene Mock. Twins team card. Now, some of these are significantly off-center. I don't know how common this is with the team cards, but it seems like quite a few of them are really off-center on the backs. And quite a few in this lot are actually marked, so I had to be careful when I was going through this that I didn't end up keeping one that was marked. Next we have Ron Blomberg. Wayne Twitchell. Kurt Bavacqua. Next we have the Mad Hungarian, Al Herboski, fantastic TTMer. Next we have Ron Hodges, little off center. Fred Norman. Merv Rettenmund. Next we have Vern Rule. Ray Fosse. His career was never the same after Pete Rose just absolutely obliterated him in the All-Star game. What was it, 72, 73 maybe? Yeah, his career was never the same. Next, Randy Lurch. Mitch Kelleher. Del Alston. John Hale. Give me 1 second. I want to straighten this stack up a little bit. All right. Next we have Eric Rasmussen. Bob Randall. John Denny. Mickey Rivers. O. Diaz. Randy Moffett. Jack Brohammer. Tom Underwood. Mark Belanger. That one's got a little wax stain to it. Next we have Les Moss. Tigers team card. Next we have Jim Mason. Joe Negro. This one's got a little wax stain right there. Next we have Elliot Maddox. John Candelaria. Brian Downing. Steve Mangori. Ken Henderson. Steve Yeager. Warren Cromartie. Dan Briggs. Elias Sosa. Ted Cox. Jason Thompson. Roger Erickson. Next we have the Mets. Joe Torre. This one does have creasing in it. Definitely have to be replaced. That's not really a mark, but it's got a stain on the back. Yeah, definitely have to replace this. Next we have Fred Kendall. Greg Minton. Gary Matthews. Sarge. Rodney Scott. Pete Falcone. Bob Molinaro. Tidrow. Oop. Oh, that one might need to be replaced now. Let's see. No, I think it's, well, yeah. I got a ding corner on that one now. Well, that stinks. Next we have a Bob Boone. Great TTM signer. That's pretty off center. Terry Crowley. Jim Bibby. Just a few more to go. Phil Mankowski. Len Barker. Sam Mejias. Ray Burris. Last card I'll be showing from this starter set this week, John Wathen. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed seeing those. Let me go back and see that card I dropped. I hate when I fumble a card, but yeah. A little ding on that corner. I don't know if that was there or not, but it stands out a little more now that I accidentally dropped it on my desk. I think I might have caused that, so that stinks. Oh, well. All right. So go ahead and put this away. And I'll probably show another group of these next week. If there is time, I do have a whole bunch of little lots that I picked up that I still need to show. And on top of that hockey lot that I showed on the overtime show yesterday, so I don't know what I'm going to be showing when, but I definitely have plenty of cards to show over the next couple weeks. But the last thing I'll be showing tonight is the 1990 Kingpins. I want to open up a few more packs from this. We're just under an hour and a half, so I have a little bit of time left. So we still haven't pulled the Walter Ray Williams rookie out of here. Let's go ahead and do 6 this week. 3, 4, 5, and no, I'll go with this one, 6. I think we've opened 6 each time, so this will take us to 18 of the 36. It'll take us halfway through the box. All right, so I don't want to spend too much time on these. You've probably seen at least 2/3 of the set at this point. And I don't really have time to mention which ones are Hall of Famers and which ones aren't, but I do have the list right here, and it's loaded with Hall of Famers. All of the ones that are circled are Hall of Famers. Let me run by this real quick. I guess Earl Anthony, Nelson Burton, Chris Schenkel, Mike Durbin, Amleto, Monticelli. We haven't seen his card yet. Barry Asher, Ray Bluth, Norm Duke, Dale Eagle, Wayne Webb, Bill Brunetta, Gary Dickinson, Pete Weber. We've pulled a couple of his rookies. David Ferraro, Dick Weber, George Pappas, Paul Colwell, Jim Stefanich, Wayne Zahn, Andy Marzich, Marshall Holman, Steve Cook, Tommy Hudson, Pete McCordick, Don Johnson, Ski Formski, the Walter Ray Williams rookies, the GOAT. It'd be nice to get his. I mean, I'm going to get one. There's probably going to be 3 of them in here, but we haven't pulled it yet. Larry Laub, Mark Williams, Les Zykes, Joe Berardi, Del Ballard Jr. Don't think we've pulled his yet, but maybe we have. David Ozio, David Husted, Dave Sutar, Harry Sullins, Glenn Allison, Mike Albee. I think we pulled one of his. Don Carter. I don't think we've pulled his yet. Bill Lillard, Mike McGrath, Tom Baker, Pete Couture, Carmen Salvino. So there's lots of Hall of Famers. Jim Godman, Bill Allen, Mark Roth, Brian Goebel, Bill Breach, Tita Simmons, Parker Bone III, we saw him last week. Billy Hardwick, we saw him last week. Johnny Petraglia, same. Randy Peterson, Ernie Schlegel, Don McCune, Bob Stramp, Les Schisler, and Dave Davis. So I don't remember how many it was. Okay, yeah, here, I'm glad I wrote it down. So out of the 100 card set, which is actually 99 because there's a checklist, 59 Hall of Famers, 52 in the PBA, 7 in the USBC. So basically every other card is going to be a Hall of Famer. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started and see what we get. So we got Jess Stayrook, Jimmy Certain, Steve Cook, Marshall Holman, he's a Hall of Famer. Andy Marzich, he was a Hall of Famer. Tony Westlake, Wayne Zahn, Jim Stefanich, I believe he was a Hall of Famer. Paul Colwell, and Mark Baker. All right, that's one pack. Where are the Walter A. Williams cards? Philip Ringener, Jim Godman, Carmen Salvino, he's a Hall of Famer. I think that's the first time we pulled that card. Pete Couture, I think he was a Hall of Famer. Tom Baker, he might have been a Hall of Famer. Art Trask, Mike McGrath, I think he was a Hall of Famer. Bill Lillard. Don Carter. Okay, there we go. We haven't pulled him yet. There we go. And Dave Arnold. That was a nice pack. And there is a slight chance that we can get an autograph card out of here, which would be cool, but I'm not expecting it. Bill Brunetta. Wayne Webb, he's a Hall of Famer. Very blurry card. Brad Snell. Joe Salvamini. Bob Hanley. Mark McDowell. Dale Eagle, I believe he was a Hall of Famer. Curtis Odom. Golfing with a bowling ball. There's a Norm Duke rookie, like it. I think that's the second one we've had now. And Ray Bluth, Hall of Famer. All right, 3 more packs. Let's get a Walter Ray. Come on. We got Hugh Miller. Barry Asher. He might have been a Hall of Famer. Oh, there's Amleto Monticelli. He's a Hall of Famer. We haven't pulled that card yet. Alan Chodor. Mike Durbin, he's a Hall of Famer. Chris Schenkel, he's a Hall of Famer. Nelson Burton Jr., he's a Hall of Famer. Earl Anthony, he's the cover boy of the set. Hall of Famer. A checklist. And Charlie Tapp. All right, nice pack. Still no Walter Ray. That looks like there's Parker Bone III. That'll be the second one of that one. That's a nice one to get. Bowling legend. Mike Lemongello. Jimmy Pritz Jr. Chris Warren. Tita Semes. He's a Hall of Famer. Bill Beach. I think he might be. Brian Goebel. Mark Roth, Hall of Famer. Bill Allen. Michael Edwards. Yeah, one more pack. Maybe I shouldn't have switched the one that I did. That was probably the one with the Walter Ray Williams in it. Oh, well. We'll have that for next week. Joe Salvamini. Bob Hanley, we saw him already. Mark McDowell, same. Dale Eagle, same. Curtis Odom. I think we've had 4 of these cards now. Hey, there's another Norm Duke. I'll take it. Ray Bluth. Mats Carlson. Don Gianallo. Bob Benoit. All right. We had a pair of Norm Dukes. Don Carter, Earl Anthony. Several other Hall of Famers. So that was a pretty good rip. Since we haven't had the Walter Ray Williams yet, we haven't completed a set yet. Still have half the box to go, so hopefully we complete a set next week. That was a lot of fun to rip. As I've said before, I don't open a whole lot of stuff, so anytime I can open some sort of product, it's always pretty special. It takes me back to when I was a kid. But yeah, that's all I have for you tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Let me clean up what's left. There we go. Yeah, so like I was saying, hopefully you enjoyed the show tonight. Until next week, I appreciate everybody showing up for the Spine Ticks after party. Thank you so much for being here. Everybody that's checking out the replay, thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video. Hopefully you're enjoying it. And until next week, thanks for watching the video, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.